Support. Yes, breathe in. It's all right. We'll get cousin Michael here. We feel thin.
Yeah.
They're going to be professionals by the time you get out there. You're going to look like a right old. If we're really yielding 5 tonne a hectare, the problem is I'll be growing oilseed rape again next year. It's the 11th of July. Harvest has officially started. Even all 4 combines are running, apart from one temporarily is blocked up. But we're on the first oilseed rape field just along the A603 at Great Everston, just the other side of Cambridge. And first load in, fairly wet just around the outside of the field. It's going to require drying. We're waiting for what the result of the second lorry is. We've got heavy rain coming, so we've got the opportunity to do 5 loads beginning of next week straight into a mill. So we're going to take the opportunity to check the dryers running, get the grain store running, make sure everything's good and get these combines set up. Claas have very kindly come out just to make sure we haven't got any teething problems with them, and any that we have, we're just getting them all set up, getting the drivers back into the role of remembering how to combine. Top of this field's quite deep with tram lines, so we're having to go a 4th time around the field just so that they can turn on the up and down work inside of the headland tram line. We typically would turn on the headland tram line, but we can't because they're too deep, and we're going to end up shaking the combines to death or giving the chaser bins a hard time. So we've had to go a 4th time. So far everything's going quite well. A couple of slip clutch issues, a couple of belts on the headers not going round, which was just a sensor. But we always expect the first day is always a bit of a funny old day when things don't quite go right. One of the chaser bins, which is all ready to go, one wheel wouldn't go out. Turned out that the ram on one side had unthreaded itself, so one wheel came out, the other one wouldn't. That's now backed in the workshop before we've even got started, and they've had to now strip. Poor old Simon's trying to strip that axle apart. They've got the ram out. They've gone off to the ram company, gone to Burley Hydraulics. They're now going to rebuild the ram for us and hopefully get us going again today, and then we'll see the 4th chaser bin. And we've got 2 lorries on now. We've got 2 chaser bins which are filled up ready. So the combines are getting on better than we'd expected, so I've just had to call Paul and get the 3rd lorry to come down. And then typically on rape it's 1 lorry per combine in Cambridgeshire, so we're going with the 4th lorry we'll ask to come down shortly now that they start going. Kieran's now running again. If you look across the field, it's actually quite a steep bank, so anyone that thinks that there's no hills in Cambridge, you can see that there's a good hill going up there and the combine behind. This field's called Quarry Field, so there's nothing like harvest to get a good gathering of people. So it's very exciting. Everybody's on high spirits. I've just all had the lunch. Actually, I did actually have my lunch today, but sausage and mashed potato and treacle toffee pudding with custard was what we had today. But so hopefully we'll go quite late if we can. Weather allowing. It keeps threatening to go dark, and there was a point it started to get some spits of rain earlier, but hopefully that's passed now, and we can get at least, I want 5 loads if I can today, so I can get 5 ready to go Monday. So Stephen looks after us at Man's at Spaldwick and Market Harborough, and they've come out very kindly today. They've got Richard who's on combine number 2, and you sent out a demo driver, that's right, isn't it?
That's right. We run 4 demo drivers across the Mans region. Yeah. Specifically for this area, we've got a chap called Liam, who happens to be also from New Zealand, doesn't he? So
and next door village.
He knows Richard's dad.
Yeah,
so.
Next door village to Richard. Can you believe it?
Yeah, when he said it yesterday, I was not surprised, but it was one of those where you think, oh, small world.
Yeah.
So down here at Great Everston, we got the 4 combines down here into the rape. We came down and cut a bit earlier to check the moisture, and she's all ready to go. So we just jumped out now, just behind this combine, just to make sure the losses aren't too high behind the combine, which we've just had a check out, and they're all good, so we're ready to go. So we'll crack on. So we're here down at Great Everston in the new combines with the new headers on. Rape's doing about 10%, which is not too bad. In some places it's a bit wetter where it's a bit greener, and some places it's a bit drier, but yeah, we're getting on fine. It's really nice to get out in these new combines and see how they're getting on, and it's definitely a different perspective with these Convio headers compared to what we're used to with the Vario headers. But yeah, hopefully we get a good block done tonight before we see any rain. So just in the field here with the new 87s, it was definitely a different ride coming down the road compared to the old 780s. Yeah, 40k is definitely a lot faster than 30k, but no, they ran really nicely, and especially now with the Convio headers, we come with the rear steer trailers, which made a huge difference, especially for getting in all the gateways, and yeah, it just made it a lot easier for travelling along the road.
Hiya, I'm Will. James has given me a t-shirts finally, so yeah, it's my last day tomorrow, and yeah, for my work experience. So it's been good fun, enjoyed it all, and yeah, here in the chase bin today with best operator about apparently. Yeah, but no, it's been good.
So this is the third lorry which is leaving this field. The chaser bins can hold about 28 tonne, but we tend to fill them up to about 23, 24 tonnes, and then come straight in and unload. It's quicker than actually getting them right full and then having to go slowly at the risk of spilling. So they typically take 10 tonne out the combines and then they carry on unloading while they're going along. So they get about another 2 tonnes. That's where your 24 comes from, two loads off the combines. I think this is Wes's first time unloading actually. But so yeah, the moisture's higher than we thought it was going to be. We thought it was originally going to be about 11%. We need to be at 9% to sell it. So it's currently coming, the load just between is 14.1 and the other load's 14.2. And the third lorry's just turned up. So we're going to carry on. We're going to get this field done with the weather turning on us, and we're going to start the dryers up and take the cost of drying on the chin. If they go absolutely flat out with the chaser bins, and they can unload in 2 minutes and 56 seconds, so it can be really quick to unload them, and then catch up, go back to the cameras, back to the combine. Sorry. This is Magic's. It'll be your 9th harvest here, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just started after the harvest, so we were picking up the rest stuff.
8th harvest because he came in September. So Magic's from Poland, comes from farming over there, and then he's been with us. As I said, this will be his 8th harvest, and yeah, did you take the first load or did Mark?
Yeah, I'm the first.
Oh, he took the first of 2024. I'm looking for combines. I want to find out what you all think the yield is.
I'm currently sitting at about 5.5, James.
Kieran, can you hear me? What are you yielding?
4 tonne.
You must have left a flap undone then, unless you're not following Sandy. What about you, Graham? The chances of Graham even having the two-way turned on is some...
I'm in the tram line though.
Can you hear me, Richard? I want to know what you're yielding, please.
45 in the belt bit, Graham's out the cabin.
What did you say, Richard?
45 tonne, occasionally it's about 6, I'd say.
And what's the moisture say? Because we're getting 14.1 back at the grain store. What are your moistures all reading?
I tried to wind mine to the last one, which was 15 point something, but it's other stuff coming through that makes it a bit variable.
You know, if this is really yielding...
Currently sitting at about 7.1, it's been between 6 and 8 currently.
Can't be calibrated. Otherwise I'd be in the Guinness Book of Records if they were doing that.
I'm 11%.
But if we're really yielding 5 tonne a hectare, the problem is I'll be growing oilseed rape again next year.
That's all the calibration factor, so that'll be some of it.
See, here we go now. So now they're starting to doubt it. So this is typical. So then when we get to the end of the field and we find out it's only done 3 tonne a hectare, then we go, oh yes, well of course I just do need to calibrate it. But anyway, it's it looks a good crop. And apart from the headland's a bit naff, and the tram lines are deep on the headland, but the rest of it's pretty good. They're getting into the swing of it now. And you know, we're getting in the rhythm. The lorries are turning up, the chaser bins are turning up, you know, unloading all the time. Then the lorry's gone, next one comes. We're on to 3 lorries now. We'll have to get to the 4th if we keep going. Don't know what the weather's going to do, but currently it's all going dark overhead. Then they get a little bit of sunlight, then it goes dark again. So we need that 4th chaser bin.
So I came over here to check out a harvest, and I sort of always wanted to check out a harvest back home in Australia, but I thought it'd be a good idea to see it in another country. I'm from a sheep and beef farm just in east, sort of northeastern Victoria, and yeah, sort of haven't had much exposure to cropping, so yeah, that's the main reason I came over here, I guess. Done a fair bit of work with sheep in sort of very remote parts of Australia, and fair bit of cattle work in sort of high rainfall areas and also remote parts of Australia as well, but yeah, that's sort of come from. Yeah, so I'm doing the fuel run and I'm also delivering the food, so yeah, you could say I'm an important person. So yeah, I've got I drive a Unimog, which is sort of almost like it's like an automatic truck, I guess, with fuel on the back, and it's got on the front it's got a microwave and where I can put the meals and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's actually really cool, and it's a good little machine, and I think it's sort of working out quite well.
So that load is 11.1, admixed 1.86, oil content 44.1, oil needs to be over 42. So they roll out the 100 seeds, which have got a ruler for doing 100 seeds on, and then they roll it and look for the green. They've got 1 green in here. You don't. If you have too many greens, it's immature and it's not fit, and it's not going to produce any oil. So now this is the 4th load, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're checking the 4th load, checking the admixture, and then we'll do a moisture check, see what the moisture is. I'm hoping it's coming down. So so far we've had a 15.2, 14.1. and 11. So Steve's just filling the dryer up now, and he's going to start drying shortly. And then we'll get to find out what this is. I'm fingers crossed, I'm hoping it's 10.5. Shall we have a wager, Gordon? I'll see if Gordon feels like a betting man today. You want to bet? You feel like a betting man today?
We did on the first one.
Will I lose? Will I?
Remember that £100 you gave me 2 months ago?
Did I give it to you? Oh, well, that's good. What was that bet on then?
Oh, one of many things that you're wrong on.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously you've forgotten, haven't you? But you're just so pleased that whatever it was, you won. So has your chaser been ready then, James? Oh yeah, it's all ready to go. Yeah, first day.
Yeah.
Axle off. And you had to heat this all up.
Yeah.
You did, but I didn't succeed in the end. So I got a plan B.
What, and take the whole thing out?
No, I chiseled the split pins out through the hole.
For this little hole here?
Yeah. With these big bits here.
I see he hasn't got any skin off his knuckles. Right, and then what are you doing now? Is that rammed back in?
Yeah, rammed in.
Yeah.
So that went to Burley and they fixed it?
Yeah, I took it there, waited while they did it, and they fixed it.
What do they have to do exactly?
So they had to sort of reshape what we put back in.
Has it got a claw like this?
Yeah, so there's a crevice at the end there.
Oh, yeah.
Clips.
Okay, yeah.
So
Is that all that happened? The split pins came undone?
No, it screwed onto the end of the rod.
Oh yeah, threaded?
And, yeah, and it got a pinch, it screws on in a pinch bolt to hold it there, and it unscrews it.
You're going to be running for tomorrow?
Hope so, yeah.
All right. Well, they're going to be professionals by the time you get out there.
Exactly.
You're going to look like a right old.
Being the only British lad, I got some.
Yeah. So Paul, yes, breathe in. It's all right. We'll get cousin Michael here. We feel thin.
Yeah.
I was just saying that we spent 3 days, or you've spent 3 days.
Yes.
I had about an hour on it.
On the engine.
On the engine.
Yeah.
And it was extraordinary, wasn't it?
Painful. Painful is the only word.
Impossible to do business with them,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just impossible.
To get a straight answer.
So now we bought that new one. It's on that trailer over there.
Yeah.
Well, it's new to us.
I've not really had a close look at it, but
2014.
it's exactly the same as we've got in the fuel Bowser. So
Yeah, it should be good. It's a Kubota engine.
yeah,
So that should be okay.
yeah. So we should be good.
Yeah. 3 lorries on it. Tight. It's tight.
Okay. Yeah.
If they get going a bit quicker, they're starting to get into it. We're going to need the 4th lorry.
Right.
Not today, but
So plan 4 for tomorrow.
yeah, I don't know what the weather's going to do. Have you looked?
It's looking dry.
Oh, really?
Looking dry.
I wonder if it's going to rain. Okay.
It says 35% chance rain Saturday, Sunday, but
We won't need 4 first thing,
okay.
if that helps.
Okay.
And then, we'll need one probably by lunchtime.
Okay. What about this evening? What time are you running till?
Um,
Because obviously we were not expecting to get
no,
down as
do
we
they all
were.
start early?
Yes.
So what time do they need to sort of stop?
8:30.
Fine.
Apart from Mark.
Then that's not a problem. We'll fill the chaser bins up, and then we'll just need them to come in at 9 to empty the chaser bins.
I can bring an additional
trailers down
an
there.
additional in tonight. if
Won't
we
need it.
to cover, but
No, we'll do that. We'll fill the chaser bins up, then we'll stop then, and then they'll be ready for 9 in the morning.
okay. So
Unload.
Magic stop when he stops, and
Yeah.
Mark do the last one, and then fill the chasers.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll plan for that.
Okay.
No problem.
Chris is with Brooke. They've got the last 3 trusses came today at about 12 o'clock, and he's got them up ready. And then we've got the guys going to start coming, and he's going to felt the roof, batten it, and slate it. So Father will be pleased. Once we get the roof on and get it watertight, we can get on with a lot of other works at the same time. And we're going to get the outside plastered while the weather's good, and get the windows fitted. They're already here. We bought this from a great chap up in Lincolnshire called Stephen Green, who's really good and supports us. He hires us the diggers, the dumpers and that sort of thing, and he had one of these and he's helped us out, so we bought this from him. This will be perfect for what we want. It's a more modern engine. It turned out that Perkins was about 1995 or somewhere in that region, so this is 2014. So we'll unbolt this out of the frame, we'll lift it up and get it in the top of the Army Bowser, and then hopefully within a day or 2 we'll be away and it will be running again. Kelvin, there's still no air compressors in here. We're still waiting. Looking forward to those 2 turning up. So Steve's got the dryer running. Oh, you can smell it. It's a real sign of harvest when you can smell the dryer. He's just got it going. It's got it on quite low heat at the moment, 88. You've got the grain at 21, so it's quite damp and cold. You'll need to get that up to about 35. And then, so as it works in the dryer, the grain comes in the top, and as it comes down and comes out the bottom, you put more grain on top, which is obviously wetter. So it's like cooking a pizza in the oven. It's a proportionate of time. The wetter it is, the longer it needs to be in the dryer, or the hotter. But the problem with going too hot is you'll burn it, just like cooking a pizza. You can burn it too quickly. So you've got the optimum temperature according to what the crop is. So for example, you've got here each crop. So we're on oilseed rape, and it's got moisture extraction 21 to 16 or 16 to 8. Well, we're 16 to 8. So 85 Celsius, max grain temperature 50. So as it comes down, and it's in 10 sections effectively. So if you were doing a 6 minutes, if it was based on 10 sections in that sense in an hour, and as it comes out, every 15 minutes we will take a sample and we will check to see what the moisture is, and then we know whether we've got it set at the right speed or whether we need to speed it up. So otherwise, if you're not careful, what happens is time that goes in at the top at say 15, you want it to come out at 9, and you take it suddenly down to 6. 6 is the minimum that they'll accept it. Below 6, actually it becomes rejectable. So we need it to be really about 8.5, 8.6, 8.7, somewhere in that region. Now we'll blend some of the drier stuff, the 11s with the 15, to try and get an average coming in the dry of 12, so we can then take it down. To do that, we've got the 2 bins, so we'll put the 9 to 11 in one bin, we'll put the 15 in another bin, we'll set the speed up, so that will 20%, for example, and then that will be coming in at 80%, and then that merges, or whatever the percentage is according to what the moisture is, to try and bring the dryer a nice equal moisture. What you don't want is 15 in there and then 10 minutes later to put a 9, then go put a 12, because what you'll have coming out the bottom, because the dryer will be set at one setting, will be all over the place, and then you'll be over drying or under drying, and then that's a problem. Either you created a rejection, or worse, if you put it in long-term storage, it will heat up and it will go mouldy and it will go off. So you need it to be under 9 so that the crop becomes stabilised, and not too hot, otherwise it sweats. And if it sweats, then again you'll get bugs and it will go mouldy. That's the hot air. So you've got big burners in here running on kerosene, pushing heat up into the side of the dryer, being sucked into the 10 sections, taking heat. On the opposite side is cold air to try and cool it down as it's coming out. The fact it's running and it hasn't stopped yet, that's a good sign. Typically when you start a dryer up, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, really tricky and temperamental at the beginning. So far, fingers crossed, looks like it's running well. Wet silo 1, wet silo 2. So there we're putting the drier stuff in this bin, the wetter stuff in here. Then you've got the conveyors running through the bottom, and you've got that one coming up there, and that's how we're blending them on percentages to try and get an equal moisture into the top of the dryer.
I don't like corners.
Right, we'll turn.
I am turning.
Okay, that's it. Well done. That's it. Look, the barley's nearly ready. I bet the barley would be ready now. So Matilda's,
This car won't tip over.
how long have you been driving now? 3 years.
No, I think like 2.
Are you sure? Bet you've had that Freeland of 2 years.
Well, I was 10 and I'm 11 now, but I'm nearly 12.
Darling, that was last year you were 10. And you've been driving longer than last year. We lived in Roosters 2 years ago.
Okay, then like 2 or 3 years.
Right. Oof.
I don't like that bump.
No, well, nor did the car, if that helps. Anyway, is this easier to drive than the Freelander?
Well, yes, but it feels like it's about to tip over.
No, it's not going to go anywhere. It's a good car, this. Right, let me do this bit. Go on. Whoa, okay. Okay.
You told me to go slow.
No, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Not particularly, but okay.
I think my driving's better.
Right, there you go. Excellent. You're fine now. You're out of the danger zone. That was a deep rut which we've got to fill in.
Hasn't it been like that for 2 years?
This is mustard.
So there's another.
Who's that mustard for, Matilda?
Daddy, there's another puddle.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Keep going. You'll be all right. Who's the mustard for?
It's like a mustard brown, which you do 90% of, I think.
Yes, but what is the mustard? Who's it for?
You.
No, it's not for me. Coleman's.
Ah, yeah.
And the barley. Who's the barley for?
I don't actually know that one.
Oh.
Is it also for Coleman?
No.
What is that?
It's all right. It was a dust mask. Right, you can stop now. Press the brake. Press the brake. Oh, hell.
I'm sorry.
No, hold the brake. That's it. Well done.
Normally I stop more smoothly.
That was very good. Well done. So the first field's completed. It's just shy of 45 hectares, and some of it looked really good. And talking to the combine drivers, they they were giving me all the high spirits of the yields, etc. What their meters were telling you they were going to be, which was really quite encouraging. But we've had the last lorry on the bridge, and we've weighed it in now, and when you correct all the weight, because when you have grain that's as wet as the rape is currently, so each lorry might have nearly up to 2 ton, 1.8, 1.5, something like that of weight loss, because obviously if you're working on 9 and you're bringing in stuff that's 11 or 12 or higher moisture, you've got to take a deduction for the amount of water which is inside of that, because when it goes through the dryer, what it does is it removes the water. Well, that water has a weight. So we have to take an allocation for that, and so we're reducing about, say, 1.8. Well, at £500 a tonne, suddenly you've got about, what, £800-900 worth of per lorry of missing grain, which is basically evaporated. And that obviously reduces the yield. So a 30-tonne lorry is being corrected down to probably 28, 27, depending upon the moisture. Our average yield of oilseed rape in the past used to be 3.67. The best I've done as an average is 4.84. Never really hit any bigger yields than that. We used to grow oilseed rape on a 50-50 basis, first week rape. And, that worked well. But, of course, the prices worked with the growing costs at that time. £500 a tonne, it's hit this last week. Which will make a difference, but actually when you take into account that we probably pulled up nearly 50% of the rape we drilled in the autumn, and you carry that cost into the gross margins of the oilseed rape, actually the oilseed rape, looking at the yield we got, may not make any money. I will work it out properly, but effectively it's yielded 3.1 tonne a hectare corrected moisture, so quite a bit lower than the combines were saying, quite a bit lower than I hoped. But the field, there were parts that were really good, there were parts on the top of the hill which weren't very clever at all, and of course those worst bits actually do reduce the overall yield dramatically. So it's a good result to get a field done. It's not the hive that I was hoping for, but they've now started the second field, but it is one of about 30 fields, so we've got a long way to go yet, so we might have some better results yet. Dryer's running, so pleased with that. Pleased that's going well. Pleased to be getting some harvesting done, yard full of people, everybody's enthusiastic, wanting to crack on, and we can then get the cultivators in. As soon as we get some more fields cleared, the cultivator guys can come in, and hoping to combine tomorrow, and then the cultivations will start. Just reading some of your comments. Yes, the army lorry, we did actually change its classification. And then the government point, yes, we are pleased that food security is back on the agenda, and also a house full of girls. Never been so busy out of the house. But pleased so many people are subscribing. Thank you for the kind comments. Appreciate it. Not only just for me, but also the people who work for me. They're all keen to try and show what we do, and it's nice for them to feel appreciated and the nice things that's just said. So look forward to doing another one for you next week.